Right, welcome to the Explainer. Today we're looking at a €1 billion blueprint for the black stuff right here on our doorstep. Let's jump straight into the numbers, shall we? €400 million. Now that is a fair whack of cash, isn't it? This is the massive, fresh investment Diageo has just announced for a brand new second brewery in Little Connell, out in County Kildare. It's an absolutely eye-watering amount of capital, and it's set to completely reshape the brewing landscape on the island. Section 1. The Kildare Cash Splash. So let's get down to brass tacks out in Kildare. Today actually marks the official opening of a near €300 million brewery at Little Connell, which is currently focused on pumping out lagers and ales, your Hop House 13 and Smithwicks. But Diageo is really doubling down. That new €400 million figure we just talked about, well, that's for a completely second brewery on the exact same site, purposed entirely for churning out Guinness and the rapidly growing Guinness 0.0, specifically for the export market. They're literally building a dedicated state-of-the-art machine right out in the Kildare countryside just to satisfy the sheer global thirst for the black stuff.
Moving on to Section 2, Jobs for Local Families.
Now, here's where we hit the stark reality of modern foreign direct investment for the ordinary Irish working family. During the construction phase of the newly opened brewery, there was this fantastic, massive short-term boom for local tradespeople. We're talking around 650 jobs, which is brilliant for families while the cranes are in the sky and the cement mixers are turning, right? But once the doors finally open and the actual brewing starts, the highly automated reality of modern manufacturing kicks in. Just 50 permanent full-time roles were created upon completion. So the capital investment is astronomically high, but the long-term permanent job creation on the factory floor for the local community, it's incredibly lean. It's a fascinating and frankly kind of tough contrast between massive corporate output and minimal local manpower.
Right. Section 3. Freeing up the capital.
If we zoom out on the timeline a bit, you can see a decade-long corporate master plan taking shape. Diageo's investment program actually began back in 2020. Now, here in 2026, we have this €400 million expansion announced for Kildare, and by 2029, Diageo states their total committed investment across their Irish operations will hit a staggering €1 billion. So this isn't just some reactionary move. This is a meticulously planned blueprint designed to future-proof their entire operation across the island over a 10-year stretch.
So how does this €1 billion machine actually work? Well, it ties the whole island together in 3 incredibly deliberate steps. Step 1, Kildare takes on the heavy lifting for those massive new global export markets. By doing that, which brings us to Step 2, it completely frees up the historic St. James's Gate in Dublin. The capital can now dedicate its capacity entirely to its core strongholds, the domestic Irish market, the UK, and the massive US market. And finally, Step 3, all this extra volume flows up the road to the packaging facility in Belfast to get boxed, kegged, and shipped out. It's a highly efficient, all-island logistics web, and Kildare is the new, high-powered engine making the whole shebang run smoothly.
Section 4. Bucking the global trend.
The global picture here is absolutely fascinating, to be honest. In their recent quarterly results, the parent company, Diageo, revealed a really sharp drop in North American sales. The broader market over there is incredibly challenging right now, and a lot of the big brands are genuinely feeling the pinch. But the Irish Stout is a completely different story. Colin O'Brien, Diageo's head of global beer supply, confirmed that Guinness is experiencing fantastic performance in North America and indeed globally. It's completely bucking the downward trend and essentially carrying the torch for the group in some of their most crucial international markets.
And that brings us to a very pragmatic reality. Colin O'Brien noted, and I quote, "Tariffs are an issue, but we're working through that and trying to drive the efficiencies the best we can through a new brewery here to minimize the impact of that on consumers." So those ruthless corporate efficiencies built into that highly automated Kildare plant, the one providing only 50 permanent jobs, are exactly how they absorb those international tariffs. They are automating aggressively to keep costs down, specifically to protect the ordinary punter's wallet from massive price hikes at the bar. Basically, local efficiency acts as a shield for global consumers.
Section 5. The top brass strategy. Now we definitely have to factor in the boardroom. Diageo's new CEO, Dave Lewis, is taking over with a major turnaround strategy coming in August. Lewis comes over from Unilever and Tesco, bringing with him a serious reputation for aggressive cost-cutting. Naturally, this brought up old ghost stories from the previous CEO, Deborah Cruz's era. Heavy rumors that Diageo might actually break Guinness away from the rest of the group. But Colin O'Brien firmly put those rumors to bed. The current corporate reality is that this massive €1 billion investment program proves Guinness is staying front and center. The brand is simply too powerful and growing far too fast to ever be spun off.
Which leaves us with this final, somewhat provocative thought to ponder. We're looking at a €1 billion investment on this island. It's absolutely successfully securing the legacy of the black stuff globally, but it is fundamentally driven by relentless automation to beat global tariffs, all overseen by a CEO famous for aggressive cost-cutting. So while the export numbers soar and the construction cranes busy the local skyline for a few years, what does the long-term future of Irish brewing actually look like for the working family hoping for a secure, permanent job on the floor? It's undeniably a massive corporate win, for sure, but the local reality is changing fast. Thanks for joining me for this explainer. Keep an eye on those pints, and I'll catch you next time.